The dark room. Thomas had always been fascinated by photography. He spent hours in his dark room developing rolls of film and watching his images come to life. But one roll was different. As he developed the film, Thomas noticed that the images didn't look right. They were dark and grainy and seemed to capture moments that Thomas couldn't remember. But it was the last image that made his blood run cold. The photograph showed Thomas himself, lying on the floor, his eyes closed, and a look of terror frozen on his face. Thomas felt a chill run down his spine. Who could have taken this picture? And when? As Thomas looked closer, he realized that the image was changing. The eyes were opening, and the face was twisting into a scream. Thomas tried to drop the photograph, but his hands seemed frozen. Suddenly, the lights in the dark room began to flicker. Thomas heard footsteps, heavy and deliberate, coming from outside the room. The door creaked open, and a figure loomed in the shadows. Thomas tried to scream, but his voice was trapped in his throat. The figure stepped closer, and Thomas saw his own face staring back at him. The eyes were black as coal, and the skin was deathly pale. "You shouldn't have developed this role," the figure whispered, its voice like a sigh from beyond the grave. As Thomas watched in horror, the figure began to develop another roll of film. The images that emerged were of Thomas's own death, each one more gruesome than the last. Thomas realized that he was trapped in a nightmare from which he couldn't wake up. The dark room had become a portal to his own demise, and he was powerless to escape. The last thing Thomas saw was the figure's face, twisted into a grotesque grin, as it whispered, "The next role is yours."